Yeah, we're good.
proper timing from the NC2A.
We are good. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions for Coach and student athletes.
Well, congratulations on a great season to Morehead State, and I thought a really good match. They, they hung in tough with us for a long time. They played hard defensively. They pushed us, and I thought it was, hopefully what we needed. We were able to get a lot of players time in roles that we think will need them in this tournament run. On the whole, pleased, and definitely thought that we were good offensively, and I thought Emmy was great in the back row tonight.
265 hitting percentage is low for you guys. What does that say about your team that you're able to pull out a win despite not hitting your best?
Yeah, a couple years ago that would have been a good hitting percentage. So I think I'm not totally sure what happened. A lot of that was we just started out really slow in that third set. It says we had 135 in the third set. So I'd have to go watch it again. What happened?
Well, what does it say about the resiliency of your group that you're able to still pull out a win when you're not hitting your best?
Yeah, I think if you're not hitting your best, you better play good defense.
You guys are pretty close, and I think each of the first three sets, at least early on. How important was it just to, that you guys were able to set yourselves later on? How important is that just going forward? Against
Yeah, I think it's important just to get the first few points in the game under your belt, and we are comfortable here, but it has been a little while since we've been here, so I think getting used to this environment, especially in serve and pass, which incident I thought we were really good in service even tonight. But yeah, I think it's important.
I think the first set last year against Coppin State was kind of similar to the first set here this year. What's it like with the way that you guys challenge yourselves in the non-conference with your scheduling to switch gears from going from conference play and the tough matches all of a sudden to knockout play and just kind of that run up to the first match?
I think there's a different feeling for sure. It's one thing to say, we're treating every game like it's the last game of the season, but it's another thing when it actually is. And so, there's a different feeling, and I think, anyone in this tournament is very deserving and tough.
And then I'm sorry, just the same question for the players too. What's it like switching gears, between the end of the regular season and the start of the postseason for a match like this?
Yeah, obviously the stakes are just higher. It's a loser, and you go home every single game. And especially as a senior, like it could be my last game on the team. So just being super grateful to be with this group and going into every game with just the same intensity, like preparing like it could be your last game, because it really can be.
Yeah, and adding on to that, we talked about yesterday, like accepting that every team's going to play their best volleyball. Like Emmy said, like it's the last game, possibly the last game for every team. So accepting that, and then like still holding our standards and playing our best.
How different is it in service? This is also for Torrey, like with the depth perception of the Pitt compared to Fitzgerald Fieldhouse. Does that like change anything, like how you get ready to prepare for a serve?
I think just playing in different gyms throughout the season, like you always want to kind of get used to the vision and how you're seeing the ball, and like the depth perception. So we're lucky we've gotten to play a few games here throughout the season and throughout like my career where I'm pretty comfortable in the Pitt. But yeah, I think it's important going gym to gym over the course of the season, preparing and getting your reps of seeing how like the serve is coming to you. And I would say it's definitely different in each gym, but making sure in our pre-practices I'm getting reps doing that.
Yeah, Emmy gets a lot of passing reps after practice ends. It's always Emmy's time. But yeah, I would say like we're adjusting to lighting and all the things, balls. So.
Do you think that affects Morehead State a little bit more because they're used to playing in smaller gyms than the big like Pitt that they're playing in today?
Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Torrey, Morehead State had closed it to a 1-point gap, 12 to 11 in the third set, and then Rachel had a set, and you had a very dominant kill. And after that point, you guys outscored them 13-4 to close out the third set. How important was that kill to kind of change the momentum?
I think that something that we're talking about is like no bubbles, and I feel like we kind of let them slip back into the game that third set. But I definitely think that it was a momentum shift, and like after that, we just kept on stomping and trying to end it out. So.
Torrey, it's your second NCAA tournament. How have you approached this postseason differently than maybe you did last season?
We actually did this again yesterday, last night. We talked about just like the experience that we have, like not only just with me, but like with the whole team, and like Fish has a lot of years of experience, and he has, and like we did that yesterday with everyone. So I feel like I'm coming into this tournament with just, I would say, more experience, but also like gratitude, just all the things. I think, like Emmy said, it's her early senior year, but I think we're all playing for each other, and stakes are big, but we still want to play our best game, and that kind of comes together.
And Rachel not only had 5 aces, but she had 4 separate 3-0 service runs over the game. How key has her performance from the service line been for you guys this season?
I mean, that's one of the reasons we always have her serve first. Is not only she has a really good serve, and it's a good blocking lineup for us. It's a good back row lineup for us, and so we need her to keep scoring a lot of points if we want to keep winning.
Coach, saw you started Dahlia tonight along with Ryle. What went into that decision?
Yeah, we decided to rest Bree tonight, and that allowed Dahlia and Bianca to get a little bit more playing time.
You had Bianca playing in that third set as well. I mean, what did you like from her in that set?
Yeah, I thought her timing was a little off on the block to start, but by the halfway through that third set, she was lining up her block better, and then she had a couple big swings at the end.
Was that error between when Rachel and Bianca kind of ran into each other just, because she hasn't gotten to play that much this season?
No, that could happen with anyone.
Okay.
It was that kind of stuff just happens in volleyball.
Was it intentional to like play Ryla starting with the 3 people in the front row rather than coming off the bench to see her with a different lineup in the front row, or is that just how it worked out?
You mean in the other spot?
Yeah.
It was intentional because Dahlia is a pretty strong slide hitter, and then that third set we wanted Ryla to play like in the normal spot she does.
And I noticed after you guys took the match, I may have forgotten about this over the years, but is it typical for you guys to take a team picture right after the match after every round of the tournament?
We've been doing that for
It started my freshman year.
at least 4 or 5 years, yeah.
And how much do you think that allows you guys to appreciate, and Emmy especially you, the moment of every step that you guys have along the journey?
Yeah, I mean, we do it all season too, taking the picture after wins, and it's kind of cool just like having those as each one is just a great memory, and we just want to keep making those great memories with this group.
We stole it from Coach Vinovich. It's partially that when you play internationally, you do it after every game, and Jay's team has a tradition of doing that in practice as well, and so we decided to implement it.
Well, imitation's a form of flattery, right?
I'm trying to imitate Jay a lot.
Speaking of Jay Vidovich's team, tomorrow there's a unique situation that
Yep.
there's a doubleheader with Met Soccer, and then you guys come in right after. How cool is that for the university?
I think there's a lot of people that work, really hard at this university that are for these moments, and so, yeah, it's great.
Dan,
Coach,
what
you
did
guys have a game less than 24 hours. Just what does the next day look like for you guys?
Yeah, we'll have practice in the morning, and video, and then have some downtime, and then come back and more video. It's not we haven't done this since preseason, have the back-to-back, but we feel like we've been training all year long physically, so we're ready for it, and so.
I want to add on to that though too, like mock our strength coach. This is the time we peak, and like even though it's back to back, like we're ready for this moment, and like we're jumping our highest this time, and this is our peak, the new peak.
New peak.
Emmy, on other teams, maybe the libero getting a majority of the digs, and you had the highest today, but that hasn't been the case all season. What does that say about your guys' defensive intensity?
It's just a huge theme for us. I mean, training every single day to be the higher effort team, going for it on defense. So, I don't really care who gets the digs as long as there's digs. Like, I don't need to have the highest. I think our defense across the board is obviously we're holding opponents to low hitting percentages, and whoever gets the digs each match gets the digs, and I just want to keep winning.